What are some NSFW life hacks? Use cold water to break down cum instead of warm. Put a pillow under your ass or lower back when having sex. People want more details, so I'll provide more. Don't use the pillow you sleep on, obviously. Use a throw pillow or an extra pillow. Or if you really want, they make special sex pillows for this. During missionary. Put it under the lady's ass. If doing cowgirl, under the man's ass. If doing prone, under the lady's lower stomach thighs. This gives you a better angle and makes things feel a lot better and streamlined. For the ladies, I've picked up weightlifting for the last 9 months. Doing deadlifts correctly have strengthened my pelvic floor muscles, glutes, and everything around that area. Places that even weighted Kegels didn't touch. Sex was great before, but it is mind-blowing now. I can engage those muscles I didn't know I had. The last time I had sex, I had the best orgasm of my life. This might also be true for men, but as I'm not one, I can't weigh in. Spray for jock itch is the same as the spray for athlete's foot and at $2 more expensive per can. If your balls itch, go with the athlete's foot spray. If it looks infected, it probably is. You're more likely to keep a partner long term with your mouth than with your genitals. However you interpret this, you are correct. Makes sense. You can bite into their Achilles tendon and they probably can't escape, or at least a better chance of restraint than wrapping your genitals around their wrist. Came to this thread slightly horny. Left knowing how to commit the perfect murder. If you're good at balancing, you can use an office chair as a stepladder in a pinch. If you have diarrhea, rub coconut oil on your asshole and a crack between the pooping sessions. If you're giving head and a pube is in your mouth, rather than making it a big deal or having to stop in order to remove it, simply lick their inner thigh. This is usually a dry area of skin and should remove said pube. May very well turn them on further and you don't have to really stop what you're doing. But what if they have really hairy thighs and you then just get more hair in your mouth? Don't have sex on a carpet. You will get rug burn. I was given this advice in high school long before I was having sex. From another friend who was not yet having sex. That he got from his friend that did. 13 years later and I have upheld this advice. If I'm on the floor, there's a blanket. Put a towel down first. It's way easier to wash it than strip and remake the bed sheets. Insider trading is illegal only when you are poor and get caught. Not really a life hack, but girls, pee right after having sex. Drastically helps avoid a UT. If she says keep going, then keep going and change nothing about what you're doing to make her feel good. Run for Congress. If you win, you can legally trade stock on insider information. You can store a quarter in your foreskin so you always have one if you go to Aldi and need a cart. If you or your partner has a penis, there are companies that will take a cast of it to make a custom DLDO. I read a story on here a while back about a dude who tried to do that as a present for his girlfriend, but he got flaccid halfway through and didn't realize. His GF thought it was so hilarious she put it on a shelf for all to view. LMAO. If you have to bury a dead body to hide it, plant endangered plants on top so it's illegal to dig it up. Thank you. I used this already. Orgasms are great for getting rid of period pain. If you find yourself with an inconvenient boner, hold your breath. If you put a body in a chemical base, it dissolves faster. If you're having trouble bringing your girlfriend to orgasm, use a vibrator in conjunction with penetration. It's hard for women to orgasm from penetration alone. Clitoral stimulation, especially with a vibrator, makes it so much easier. For any young male who can't control their random boners, whenever you get one of those random ones in a bad time, flex any muscle. All the blood will rush to that flexed muscle, taking the attention of your general. Blow on the end of your dick gently to make yourself on command. I know that's not what you meant, but this sounds like you're just trying to pee in your mouth. If didn't go in smoothly, try again. Don't just cram it in like a barbarian. It's called the Pac-Man digital stimulation technique to please your lady. Thumb in, curled upward, with rest of fingers on outside pubic area. Lots of pressure on pubic region, do a grabbing motion. Just like you eat in. Then dots. You can only do this once. But as a person with a penis, if you ate up and ate off your significant other, just do the dick helicopter the next time you have to change in front of them or come out of the shower or whatever. That should break the tension. You own a penis and always leak some drops of urine into your underwear from the aforementioned after peeing? Try sliding a pair of fingers against your perineum afterwards. That's the spot between your anus and testicles. Helps empty out the urethra completely, rather than trying to vigorously shake your paddle, creating even bigger mess. Additional tip is to wipe it with a paper afterwards. I still don't get it why every man doesn't do it. Always pee after sex. Stunt your initial performance and slowly improve it to give your boss the illusion that you are actually improving. If you're going to stand on a swiveling chair, make sure there is something sturdy nearby to grab onto in case you lose balance. When ignoring OSHA regulations, be sure to have $136, $532 on hand. If having trouble whilst going down on a lady, try inserting your finger and curling it upwards, particularly around the back of her clitoris. Then stimulate the front of the clit with your mouth at the same time. I can't say my sample size is very large, but every time I've tried this it definitely took her enjoyment to another level. Never put your dick in a pencil sharpener. An EMT once told me that the best way to get away with murder would be to administer an insulin shot through a freckle. The freckle hides the needle mark. To ejaculate and to have an orgasm are two different things. If you can actively smell any part of yourself without trying, pits, crotch, all that good stuff, then people can smell you so much more. So as soon as you catch a whiff of yourself without actively trying to get a smell, get to a bathroom and wash and spruce up if you can. You can use condoms to carry water if you're camping or in a survival situation. They're extremely stretchy and can become as big as a human torso in the right conditions. Also, you should probably use condoms if you're out in the bush. Anyway, there was a story arc in Home and Away where several people get stuck in the Australian wilderness after their small plane crashed and one character ended up getting pregnant as a result of might as well while we're still alive sex. Also, tampons can be used to plug severe wounds, such as gunshot wounds or stab wounds. Twisting the penis like a bop, it produces a heightened orgasm. For the love of God. If you feed a moose, it may become aggressive and attack the next human it meets if they have no food to offer. It may or may have not become my favorite hobby now. If you wait until late morning to take your morning dump until you absolutely can't wait any longer, you can have a morning full of powerful and pungent farts. If you lose weight, your dick gets bigger. But be careful. If you lose dick, your weight gets bigger. Cheap BDSM solutions. Nylon rope from the hardware store is way cheaper, more versatile and safer than kinky handcuffs. Get your sub a nice expensive collar. But a metal leash from the pet store is just as good for the leash part. Don't buy a gag. A human can fit 3 raccoons in his anus. It. Just realized it says life hack and not fact. Leaving this cause people already responded. But oops. Okay, hear me out on this one. Memorize your partner by touch. Right now you're thinking, what the is this person saying? Whenever you have time. And try to hold yourself from getting too horny. Take your clothes off. And slowly but firmly run your hands over every centimeter. This is a unit of measure for those of you who use body organs to measure distances of your partner's body. The point isn't to just touch them everywhere. Memorize the landscape of their skin. Learn every muscle's position. Get used to how they twitch. Notice the difference in body temperature from one place to another. What places are smoother than others? It also doesn't hurt to check if your partner has any lumps or something they should be aware of. And let them do the same to you. Afterwards, the trust built between you two. The serenity of this action. It will make you notice and do things later in bed you didn't even know you could sense or do. And try to hold yourself from getting too horny. Instructions unclear. This is Reddit. For men, if you press 3 fingers firmly to that line that runs from your balls to your butthole when you orgasm, you can prevent yourself from ejaculating. Pleasure of orgasm with no semen coming out. Helpful when you don't want to deal with cleanup. Note. As a guy, the book She Comes First is a must. Learn cunnilingus dudes. Your partners will be grateful. Edit. You licked her so hard. She went into a coma. For people who have partners with prostate. Finger in. And then try to reach the dick directly from there. That's where the spot is. Massaging gently and only with the tip. If you dock your genitalia with the opposite genders and wiggle it about, you can spawn a whole new life. The penis can be used for more than just peeing. Baseball? If you're banging a stranger, keep the condom. Slip it into a pocket or flush it. Don't leave it lying around. Source. A friend of a friend's hookup took the condom. Used it. And now he's looking at 18 years of child support payments. She admitted to doing this but denies it in court. Obviously. If you find some good PRN, save it. Just write down the title in a memo or something. Your future self will thank you. Post-nut clarity doesn't allow me to do that. Store your SX toys on top of anything you don't want found. When your roommate is trying to pocket cash or your mom pops open the drawer snooping for weed, they'll see the SI stuff and immediately slam it shut again. This works for basically anyone in any situation except romantic partners. Every hole in the body can fit at least one finger. Hey Vsauce Michael here. How many holes human body have? I do not think my cock tunnel can open wide enough for my stumpy fingers to go in. Not that I have tried. Mind you. When deciding to grow corn, don't buy corn kernels or fertilizer. Wait until there is a family barbecue or sporting event. There will usually be corn there for consumption. Only eat the corn. Very important part. Once the corn makes its way through your digestive system, into a container and mash it down. Then after it dries, sprinkle the corn-flecked fesses into the soil. Water it. Watch it grow. Eat it. And repeat. You could, grow corn the normal way. Try putting something in your butt. Feels good. Just make sure it had a flared base. Or you might lose the something up your butt and then you have a very embarrassing ER visit. If you go to a party, and you realize it is going to be one of those parties, you can stick your dick in the mashed potatoes. Life pro tip for the men. Rubbing your pee-pee makes you feel good. If you want to avoid child support, don't have sex. Ever. Use an ice pick as a dagger so when it melts all the evidence has disappeared and no one will find the murder weapon. Alternatively, kill a girl called Mary, come home and use the ice pick and your Bloody Mary lives up to the name. But once again, melty. I think you mean icicle. Ice picks generally don't melt easily. Tie a rubber band around your cock when you're about to come and you can do it again. What? You might not believe it, but jerking one off a couple of hours before sex actually helps you last a long time and ejaculate doesn't decrease either. I want you to know that most women don't want a long time spent on sex. As a horny teenager with no access to sex toys, I used the Gamma Cube controller's rumble function. I just play a game and set off explosions while I held the controller against my crotch. It helps if the main character is hot. Your foreskin is a great pocket. I keep all my smegma there. Convenient for a snack while you're taking a. Just squeeze it out like a yogurt tube. If you're going down on a lady but worried about your tongue getting tired, press your top gum against her mound, or mons pubis. If you're fancy, and you don't need to extend your tongue as far. Also, consistency and rhythm is very important when approaching orgasm rather than getting harder or faster, so if it's going well, just keep doing what you're doing. You'll know she's had an orgasm when she can't actually have you touch her there for a moment afterwards. Put a pillow under her hips. A husband and wife can't be arrested for the same crime. It's one banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $10? Smash your dick with a rock so you get beaten meat. 2 chairs can be stacked on top of each other in lieu of a ladder. If you use the swivel chair as a ladder, you can change all the light bulbs faster. Lightly pulling and squeezing a guy's nuts right before he's about to come makes the orgasm last longer. Laws are like spider webs. Spider webs catch flies, feed spiders, and get torn apart by any bird flying into them. Laws catch small fry, feed the lawmakers and enforcement, and get thrashed by those with power. Celery can make a guy's cum shot bigger, as will soil less thin and of course lots of water. If you ever need to reach something up high but don't have a ladder, legend has it you'll get you closer to the sun. Show up to a job interview a little bit stoned. That way if you ever decide to go to work later, they just think that's what you are normally like. Only date anti-vaxxers. That way when you mess up you won't be stuck with 18 years of child support. If you're on your way down to perform oral on a chick and realize too late that the smell is going to gag you, but you've already committed and backing out is going to be a problem, all isn't lost. Spread your fingers wide like you're throwing the peace sign to a hippie. Slide your thumb into the vagina. Press your palm firmly over it, sealing the unpleasant odor in. Now you can lick her clit between your peace sign fingers with no odor. You will fail. You can prevent HIV infection by taking a once daily pill of a medication called Truvada, or its alternative Descovy. For the fellas, there's residual cum in your dick after you nut that slowly leaks out and can get crusty in your underwear dick, which is gross. You probably already knew that, but you can get rid of it by taking it almost immediately after coming. If you run the tip of your dick after coming, it makes you need to pee. Takes a bit of rubbing, but helps avoid getting crusty. Peeing after sex is just good practice. Helps prevent UTIs, mostly in women, but also in men. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Fresh aloe vera gel makes amazing and gentle for sensitive skin lube. It's the closest feeling to natural vaginal lubrication, as it's water based while still feeling mucus-y. I have no idea if it reacts with various kinds of condoms, so beware. The only downside is you have to have a plant, and then you have to cut open a leaf and get the goop out without letting any of the yellow liquid contaminate the clear gel. Works way better than any other water-based lube I've tried, and most of those stung or burned. Works better than the oily or synthetic ones too. Jacking off with foreskin and forgot the tissues. Semicolon. Tie a knot in the tip. For boys, a possible anxiolytic medication side effect is that you won't come as easy. I had a one night stand and this girl came double digits while I just could not. Sounds like a brag, but it's just a true story. I did not go out with this girl ever again cause I was just afraid I could not match my performance that night. For ladies or vagina havers, if you're constipated you can stick a finger up your cooch and push them out. If you want to get away with killing someone or want to become a serial killer, just become a cop or a politician. Ladies, whip your dick out and helicopter it about to establish dominance. If you have intact foreskin, just shower at least once every week.